The Millionaire FastLane. Crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011. Unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. Chapter 6. Has your wealth been toxified? Wealth is the ability to fully experience life. Henry David Thoreau. Society's toxification of wealth. The lure of the sidewalk evolves from society's poisonous and toxic corruption of wealth. Society has resolutely declared wealth's definition for you. Wealth is a chauffeur-driven Rolls-Royce, chartered jets, exotic trips to the South Pacific, a mansion on the bay, and a penthouse in Las Vegas. Society says wealth is 6-carat diamond earrings, Aston Martins, and watches that cost more than most people's homes. Society says wealth is an indecent proposal to buy a romp in the sack with Demi Moore for $1 million based on the argument the night will come and go, but the money will last a lifetime. How am I doing? Sound like wealth? Ask 10 people what is wealth, and you'll hear 10 different answers. Your wealth might be symbolized by a Lamborghini like it was for me, or it might be a farm on 70 acres in Montana, and a stable full of race horses. If you think like most, wealth is instinctually defined by lavish luxury lifestyles. Society has conditioned us to believe that wealth is an absolute construct perfected by material possessions. In fact, I've had to tailor the hook of this book to society's definition of wealth over the real definition. Why the misdirection? Like Pavlov's dogs, you've been trained to respond to it. You see, society has done a fabulous job of defining wealth for you, and unfortunately, they, again, have misled you. But don't worry, if you want luxury, the fast lane can deliver. The Millionaire FastLane. Crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011. Unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. The Wealth Trinity. What is wealth? Wealth isn't as ambiguous as it may seem. The happiest moments in my life were when I felt true wealth. And guess what? It wasn't the day I bought my first Lamborghini. It wasn't the day I moved into a big house on a mountain, or sold my company for millions. Wealth is not authored by material possessions, money, or stuff, but by what I call the 3 fundamental F's. 1. Family, relationships. 2. Fitness, health. 3. Freedom, choice. Within this wealth trinity is where you will find true wealth and, yes, happiness. Wealth is strong-spirited familial relationships with people. Not just your family, but with people, your community, your God, and your friends. At the end of the iconic movie, It's a Wonderful Life, we're given the final lesson. Remember, no man is a failure who has friends. This reflects on the importance of having your life shared with friends, family, and loved ones. Wealth is making a difference. Wealth is community and impacting the lives of others. Wealth cannot be experienced alone in a vacuum. Believe me, the richest moments of my life occurred when I was surrounded by a family of friends and loved ones. Second, wealth is fitness, health, vibrancy, passion, and boundless energy. If you don't have health, you lack wealth. Ask any terminally ill person what they value. Ask any cancer survivor how they suddenly feel reborn, and happiness is displaced from stuff to people and experiences. There is no price on health and vibrancy. And finally, wealth is freedom and choice, freedom to live how you want to live, what, when, and where. Freedom from bosses, alarm clocks, and the pressures of money. Freedom to passionately pursue dreams. Freedom to raise your children as you see fit. And freedom from the drudgery of doing things you hate. Freedom is the liberty to live your life as you please. Wealth can't be bought for 60 easy payments. I vividly remember the day. After I sold my company in 2000, my attorney handed me my first installment payment, a check for $250,000. Yippee, $250,000. I'm rich. I made it. I mistakenly gleamed. And now it was time to announce it to the world. I immediately envisioned fast cars, designer clothes, speedboats, and an entourage of bikini-clad women. I thought I was wealthy and I was going to flaunt it. The Millionaire FastLane. Crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011. Unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. Unfortunately, that fantasy was miles from the reality. Yet, I tried. I bought a candy apple red convertible Corvette. Sports car. Check. Designer clothes from Nordstrom? Check. I researched buying a speedboat until the internet crash interrupted my orgasmic vision. I invested my newfound wealth in tech stocks and lost thousands of dollars. Within months, more than half of my wealth evaporated, and after a conversation with my accountant, another third was soon to be parted with, thanks to taxes. Ironically, in my attempt to look wealthy, real wealth slid further away. With no job, no business, no income, and a small sum of money, I couldn't support my life forever, nor the wealthy lifestyle I envisioned for someone rich. I wasn't rich at all. The illusion of wealth, looking rich in pop culture, master illusionists of wealth are called 30K millionaires. If you haven't heard this phrase, it characterizes someone who maintains an image of a millionaire, yet has no net worth. These folks aren't hard to find. They drive entry-level BMWs with custom chrome rims, they wear fancy designer clothes with gothic cursive lettering from some faux French guy, and they congregate in the VIP section of the club ordering bottle service, of course, on credit. These folks broadcast like dashing debutantes with an extraordinary A-game, but behind all the flash and cash they're miserable magicians of the sidewalk. The problem with looking wealthy versus being wealthy is that the former is easy, while the latter is not. Easy credit and long-term monthly financing options, make no payments for 1 year, are tempting conduits to help you purchase the illusion of wealth. Society has led you to believe that wealth can be bought at a mall, at a car dealership, or on an infomercial. Like my initial spending spree when I cashed my first check, these appearances of wealth are supposed announcements to the world, I'm rich. But are you? When you finance an $80,000 Mercedes-Benz over 6 years because that's all you could afford, that isn't wealth, but impersonation of wealth. You're fooling yourself, and it's a fast lane detour. But don't jump the bandwagon yet. This isn't a sermon about how you can't spend money on pricey German sedans. Not at all. Wealth isn't embodied in a car, but in the freedom to know that you can buy it. Freedom to walk into the dealership, know your price, pay cash, and drive away. For a gift, I bought my brother a new Lexus. It was the easiest transaction I ever did. I researched the car and determined the price I wanted to pay. I walked into the dealership with a cashier's check and told the salesman, I have a cashier's check for $44,000 and I want to buy that car. I need a yes or a no. The Millionaire FastLane, crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011, unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. 20 minutes later, I owned a Lexus. This is wealth, not an impersonation of wealth. When I drive to the gym, I pass a dilapidated apartment complex near the expressway. In the parking lot I always see the same car parked, a shiny black Cadillac Escalade with 22-inch chrome custom rims. Do you see the incongruity? You live in a crappy apartment, but you drive a $60,000 car with $10,000 rims? Do I see monitors in those headrests and hear a 24-speaker stereo? Geez, 90 grand of image and $2 of common sense. Wouldn't it be wiser if you focused on owning a nice house in a nice neighborhood instead of leasing the tightest car in the Marbella Gardens apartment complex? Priorities: some want to look rich, while others want to be rich. Faux wealth destroys real wealth. Faux wealth is the illusion of wealth without having it. It believes society's definition of wealth. It's not realizing that the pursuit of faux wealth does something terribly destructive. It destroys real wealth. And as the chasm between real wealth and faux wealth expands, expectations are violated and misery creeps in. Like a Chinese finger cuff, the more you try to look rich, the tighter the grip of poorness becomes. Wealth cannot be purchased at a Mercedes dealership, but the destruction of your freedom can. Lost in wealth's translation is freedom. People flaunt the icons of wealth, but do not have freedom, and when you don't have freedom, it assiduously gnaws at the other true wealth elements, health and relationships. Henry Sucarano buys his dream house in the Baltimore suburbs for $1.8 million. As a pharmaceutical representative for one of the leading drug makers, Henry's career is on the fast track. His big home has everything he wants, including a pool, horse stables, and an impressive 5-car garage. The purchase gives Henry a feeling of I've made it. For about 8 weeks. Corporate politics and job cuts invade Henry's career, forcing him to work longer hours. He assumes other territories once covered by recently laid-off workers. Henry commutes 2 hours daily and is mandated to cover the entire eastern seaboard. He's either on the road, in a plane, or sleeping. The long hours have disturbing clarity. Henry rarely lives at his dream home, and when he does, he spends it sleeping or recharging from the hustle of the workweek. His relationship with his wife and kids suffers. His health declines as the stress of responsibility mount. Henry comes to a moment of truth. I'm not living a dream, but my dream is living me. Feeling trapped to the lifestyle illusion, Henry continues to work believing the ideology that wealth has its price. The Millionaire FastLane, crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011, unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. Notice how the destruction of freedom attacks the other sibling wealth components. Unaffordable material possessions have consequences to our health and relationships. The irony of looking wealthy is that it is an enemy to real wealth. It destroys freedom, it destroys health, and it destroys relationships. Foremost, the Millionaire FastLane addresses the freedom portion of the wealth trinity, because freedom offers protection to health and relationships. Only you can define your freedom and how you prefer to live. If you want the freedom to fly private jets, that's it. If you want the freedom to live a minimalist lifestyle, then that is it. Everyone's freedom is different. Within your personal definition, you'll find a big piece of your wealth puzzle, as opposed to society's version, which leads to sidewalking purgatory. Chapter Summary, FastLane Distinctions. Wealth is authored by strong familial relationships, fitness and health, and freedom, not by material possessions. Unaffordable material possessions are destructive to the wealth trinity. The Millionaire FastLane, crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011, unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. Chapter 7 Misuse money, and money will misuse you. Money can't buy happiness, but it can make you awfully comfortable while you're being miserable. Claire Booth Luce. If money doesn't buy happiness, does poverty? People who declare money doesn't buy happiness have already concluded they will never have money. This old equivocation becomes the torchbearer to their poorness. And since money doesn't buy happiness, why save it? And then logic begs, if money doesn't buy happiness, does poverty? Does the guy who owns a Ferrari automatically have a small penis, while the guy behind the wheel of a Honda must be well hung? Go to Google and search the phrase money doesn't buy happiness. Page after page concludes that money has no bearing on happiness. Should you be shocked that a Connecticut businessman earning a 6-figure salary might be unhappier than a cattle herder in Kenya? Absolutely not. That fact is, these analyses fall short because they don't isolate the real thief of happiness, servitude, the antithesis of freedom. The irony is that when most people earn more money, it doesn't add freedom, it detracts. By creating lifestyle servitude, more money becomes destructive to the wealth trinity, family, fitness, and freedom. According to Creighton University's Center for Marriage and Family, debt is the leading cause of strife for the newly married. Debt and lifestyle servitude keeps people bound to work and unbound to relationships. A 2003 World Value Survey, worldvaluesurvey.com, found that the happiest people in the world have a tight sense of community and strong family bonds. After basic needs are met, security, shelter, health, food, our happiness quotient is most significantly impacted by the Millionaire FastLane, crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011, unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. Quality of our relationships with our partners, our family, our friends, our spirituality, and ourselves. If we are too busy chasing the next greatest gadget to strike down the competitive opulence of the Joneses, we finance our misery. The World Value Survey concluded that consumerism is the leading obstacle to happiness. The fact is, there are many millionaires and well-paid career folks who are absolutely miserable, and it has nothing to do with the money. It has to do with their freedom. Money owns them, instead of them owning their money. The well-salaried workaholic, who is never home to strengthen the relationship with his wife and kids, is likely to be less happier than the poor farmer in Thailand, who spends half his day tending to his fields, and the other half with his family. In 2009, the popular American talk show host David Letterman went public with an extortion plot by a producer from another CBS show. The men who perpetrated the alleged $2 million blackmail scam reportedly earned $214,000 a year. Yet the man claimed to be in severe financial ruin, partly due to spousal alimony payments of nearly $6,000 per month. Was this extortionist trying to blackmail a celebrity because he wanted to buy happiness? What was his real motive? I contend that he was trying to buy freedom because his debts kept him contained in servitude. Would $2 million have made a difference? Perhaps in the short term, but not in the long term, because his relationship with money was already corrupted. A source close to the investigation said he just didn't want to work anymore. In other words, he craved freedom. Freedom is a component to wealth and happiness. Those who live freer will be happier. Those who have stronger bonds with their communities and families will be happier. Those with health will be happier. Normalcy is the rat race, a modern-day slavery. Why am I wealthy? Versus the guy stuck in morning traffic driving to work. I have freedom. I wake up and do what I want. I pursue dreams. I write this book without worrying about how many will sell. I hop a plane to Las Vegas for 2 weeks without worrying about jobs, bosses, or unpaid electric bills. Freedom is fantastic. Yet my lifestyle is not normal. Like wealth, society, through its get-rich-slow mandates, has defined normal for you. Normal is waking at 6 a.m., fighting traffic, and working 8 hours. Normal is to slave at a job Monday through Friday, save 10%, and repeat for 50 years. Normal is to buy everything on credit. Normal is to believe the illusion that the stock market will make you rich. Normal is to believe that a faster car and a bigger house will make you happy. You're conditioned to accept normal based on society's already corrupted definition of wealth, and because of it, normal itself is corrupted. Normal is modern-day slavery. The Millionaire FastLane, crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011, unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. I'm amazed that most people perilously operate one crisis away from financial ruin. We have become a nation of undisciplined spenders and consumers. We have become a nation where unfettered spending and material extravagance write our obituaries in the ink of stress. If you're held hostage to your lifestyle, you aren't wealthy because you lack freedom. The proper use of money doesn't buy happiness when it's misused. Instead of money buying freedom, it buys bondage. Wealth and happiness are interchangeable, but only if your definition of wealth hasn't been corrupted by society's definition. Society says wealth is stuff, and because of this faulty definition, the bridge between wealth and happiness collapses. When you don't feel wealthy, you're likely to try to conjure that feeling. You buy icons of wealth to feel wealthy. You crave feelings, respect, pride, and joy. You want admiration, love, and acceptance. And what are these feelings supposed to do for you? You expect deliverance into happiness. You want to be happy. And that's the bait. We equate the corrupted definition of wealth with happiness, and when it doesn't deliver, expectations are violated and unhappiness is the consequence. Used properly, money buys freedom, and freedom is one parcel in the wealth trinity. Freedom buys choices. The fact is, there are plenty of poor people who live richer than their overworked upper-middle-class counterparts, because the latter lack freedom, they lack solid relationships, and they lack health, all deleterious effects of working a hated job 5 days a week for 50 years. Money secures one agent of the wealth formula, freedom, which is a powerful guardian to wealth's sibling ingredients, health and relationships. 1. Money buys the freedom to watch your kids grow up. 2. Money buys the freedom to pursue your craziest dreams. 3. Money buys the freedom to make a difference in the world. 4. Money buys the freedom to build and strengthen relationships. 5. Money buys the freedom to do what you love, with financial validation removed from the equation. Are any of the above likely to make you happy? I bet they will. They certainly won't make you unhappy. The Millionaire FastLane, crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011, unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. Lifestyle servitude, the trap of the sidewalk. Sidewalkers are embroiled in lifestyle servitude, where life is forced into a rat race, a constant tug-of-war between lifestyle extravagances and work, a self-perpetuating merry-go-round of work for income, income for lifestyle, and lifestyle for work. Wherever there's lifestyle servitude, there's a systematic erosion of freedom. 1. Work creates income. 2. Income creates lifestyle/debt, cars, boats, designer clothes. 3. Lifestyle/debt forces work. 4. Repeat. I learned about lifestyle servitude in my early 20s. After college graduation, I took a hellacious job as a construction laborer in Chicago and fought city traffic daily. The pay was more than I had ever earned at my young age, and with my increase in income, I felt wealthy. So what did I do? I elevated my lifestyle and financed the illusion of wealth. I bought my first sports car, a Mitsubishi 3000 GT. It didn't take long for me to realize that my dream car wasn't an icon of wealth, but a parasite that fed on my freedom. I hated my job, it was stressful, and it drained my energy, leaving my entrepreneurial dreams tethered. I couldn't quit. I had responsibilities, car payments, gas, and insurance. Because of my obligations to stuff, I had sentenced myself to imprisonment in a job I loathed. Yet, this type of servitude is normal. We're taught to strive for the latest and greatest regardless of consequence. It leaves us indentured for years, condemning us to lifestyle imprisonment, and the more stuff you buy that you can't afford, the longer your jail sentence becomes. If you think you can afford it, you can't think about the last time you bought a pack of gum. Did you fret over the price? Did you ask, can I afford this? Probably not. You bought the gum and it's done. The purchase had no impact on your lifestyle or your future choices. To a rich man who walks into a dealership and buys a six-figure Bentley without thought, the acts are the same. Affordability is when you don't have to think about it. If you have to think about affordability, you can't afford it because affordability carries conditions and consequences. If you buy a boat and resort to mental gymnastics over affordability, you can't afford it. Sure, you can assuage affordability and make outlandish arguments, often starting with, I can afford this as long as. The Millionaire FastLane, crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011, unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. I get that promotion. My mortgage doesn't adjust. My stock portfolio makes another 10% this month. My sales forecasts are double. My wife finds a job. I cancel my health insurance. This self-talk is a warning that you can't afford it. Affordability doesn't come with strings attached. You can bluff yourself, but you can't bluff the consequences. So how do you know if you can afford it? If you pay cash and your lifestyle doesn't change regardless of future circumstances, you can afford it. In other words, if you buy a boat, pay cash, and are not be affected by unexpected bumps in the road, you can afford it. Would you regret a gum purchase if you lost your job a week later? Or if your sales forecast was slashed by 50%? Nope, it wouldn't make a difference. This is how affordability is measured against your level of wealth. To overcome wealth impersonation, know what you can and can't afford. There is nothing wrong with buying boats and Lamborghinis if you can truly afford them. There is a time and a place to indulge. The Millionaire FastLane is designed to bring you to that place. The bait of lifestyle servitude, the siren call of lifestyle servitude, is the false prophet of feel-good, instant gratification, and immediate pleasure. Wouldn't it be nice if everything that felt good were good? Chocolate? That supersized fast food combo meal? Sunbathing? Smoking? Unfortunately, short-term feel-good is often long-term bad. Instant gratification is a populous plague, and its predominant side effects are easily spotted: debt and obesity. Many Americans are fat because the easiest and cheapest instant gratification comes from food. When you plop your butt on the recliner and maul through a can of Pringles, you choose pleasure now in lieu of pain later. If you live with your parents and you finance $45,000 over 72 months for a new Mustang based on $31,000 a year bartender's wage, you let instant gratification win, and lifestyle servitude ensues. Wealth, like health, isn't easy and is cut from the same fabric. Their processes are identical. They require discipline, sacrifice, persistence, commitment, and yes, delayed gratification. If you can't immunize yourself from the temptations of instant gratification, you'll be hard-pressed to find success in either health or wealth. Both demand a lifestyle shift from short-term thinking, instant gratification, to long-term thinking, delayed gratification. This is the only defense to lifestyle servitude. The Millionaire FastLane, crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011, unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. Look for the hook. Instant gratification is the bait and lifestyle servitude is the hook. The advertising industry is on a great fishing expedition, and their goal is to hook you. Their juicy bait? That shiny new car, the bigger house, the designer clothes, the got-to-have-it-now product. Every day you are bombarded with instant gratification's bait. You can't survive life without this product. By now and life will be so much easier. You are not a success until you own one of these. Imagine how envious the neighbors will be when you buy this. These messages share one commonality: you're their prey, and the peddlers don't care if you can afford it or not. Defend yourself by exposing the hook beneath the bait, the bucket of bondage, which is lifestyle servitude. When instant gratification entices you to bite the bait, you become a casualty of the hook, lifestyle servitude. Instead of you owning your stuff owns you. Know wealth's enemies and what actions invite those enemies into your life. Wait until you can truly afford your lifestyle luxuries, and in the fast lane, that day can come sooner rather than later. Chapter summary: Fast lane distinctions. Money doesn't buy happiness, because money is used for consumer pursuits destructive to freedom. Anything destructive to freedom is destructive to the wealth trinity. Money, properly used, can buy freedom, which can lead to happiness. Happiness stems from good health, freedom, and strong interpersonal relationships, not necessarily money. Lifestyle servitude steals freedom, and what steals freedom, steals wealth. If you think you can afford it, you can't. The consequence of instant gratification is the destruction of freedom, health, and choice. The Millionaire FastLane, crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011, unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. Chapter 8: Lucky bastards play the game. I'm a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. Thomas Jefferson. Pest. Wanna get lucky? I once overheard someone call me a lucky bastard. What a sad, delusional sidewalking belief. I'm not lucky, I'm a player of the game. While Mr. Lucky Bastard Hater uttered that under his breath and sat his ass in the dugout, I was at the plate taking swings. Joe is a sidewalker and believes luck is required to get rich. He spends his days working construction and his evenings commenting on gossip blogs, playing video games, and watching TV. He has given up on his dreams of financial independence based on his ideas of luck. "I'm just not a lucky guy," he laments. Joe's brother Bill also has a job in construction, except Bill spends his evenings surfing the internet, researching the newest practices of inventing and engineering. Bill's dream is to be an inventor and has created 4 prototypes of inventions in various fields. Bill also spends his vacation time at trade shows and marketing seminars. While Joe is killing ogres and wizards in the latest Dungeon of Doom, Bill is out of the box of nothingness and exposing himself and his inventions to the world. Who's going to get lucky? Self-made millions arise from self-made luck. Mark Cuban, billionaire entrepreneur and owner of the Dallas Mavericks NBA team, http://www.blogmaverick.com, told a telling tale of luck in regards to his success. Mark recalls the struggles of his early successes before his big sale to Yahoo for $5.9 billion. In each story, Mark remembers how people attributed his success to luck: lucky to sell his first company, Micro Solutions, lucky to make money trading in the technology boom, and lucky to sell. The Millionaire FastLane, crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011, unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. His company to Yahoo for a few billion. Notice how events are quickly reasoned to be luck and process is swept underneath the rug. Cuban understands the dichotomy that most don't. Process creates events that others see as luck. He goes on to comment how nobody mentioned luck when it came time to reading complicated software texts, or Cisco router manuals, or sitting in his house testing and experimenting with new technologies. Where was luck then? Rich people got lucky is a sidewalker's creed and a disempowering belief that strips you of your free will. While luck can create riches by way of lotteries, casinos, and rich parents, it rarely creates long-lasting wealth. To take advantage of the Millionaire FastLane, understand that luck is a product of process, action, work, and being out there. And when you are out there, you stand a chance at being in the right place at the right time. There are right places and wrong places. The right place isn't on your sofa watching American Idol, or slapping greenbacks into thongs at Betty's Booty Cabaret, or down at the neighborhood bar getting jacked up on Bud Light while watching the Cubs lose another game. If you want to be at the right place at the right time, you indeed have to be at the right place, and the right place knows which places are the wrong places. If you aren't off the sidewalk taking action and engaging in process, you will never realize luck. Luck is always perceived to be a matter of event. You win the lottery, you win a sweepstakes, or you find a 200-year-old painting in the attic worth millions. Again, more falsities. Like wealth, luck is not an event, but an after-effect of process. Luck is the residue of process. Sidewalkers love events, but hate process. It's only natural for sidewalkers to assume wealth is luck, because they believe wealth is an event. A member of the FastLane forum, thefastlaneforum.com, recently posted that Bill Gates got lucky. I had to disagree. Luck didn't create Windows. Luck didn't create a company. Luck didn't create repetitive, concerted action toward a specified purpose. When you consistently act and bombard the world with your efforts, interacting with the waves of others, stuff happens. And that stuff? Sidewalkers interpret it as luck when it is nothing more than action engaged with better probabilities. Luck occurs when probability moves from impossible to likely. For our 2 brothers in construction, who is going to get lucky? The brother who exposes his inventions to the world bends probability in his favor. His lazy brother does not. Force your process out into the world, and you can defy the odds of being in the right place at the right time. When I think of luck, I think about poker players. Mistakenly, their craft is construed as luck, while career poker players will affirm it isn't luck, but systematic analytics and player. The Millionaire FastLane, crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011, unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. Psychology. The best poker players in the world are superior statisticians and interpreters of human behavior. Does luck play a role? Sure, but the role is minor, while player competency siphons the majority's bankroll. To tell a great poker player you're lucky is to hurl an insult. Likewise, to ascribe luck to a self-made millionaire's success is to perform the same insult. To realize luck, engage in processes where better probabilities exist. Luck is introduced when you play. When life is played to win, luck shows its face. Unfortunately, sidewalkers assign luck to events of faith, luck not engaged by process. If you want luck, engage in process, because process raises events from the ashes. Renounce the big hit as your financial plan. Sidewalkers loathe process, so their financial plan omits standard process, such as saving or budgeting, and relies on events. If you believe that luck is the sole source of wealth, you'll gravitate toward events of luck, a diligent quest to finding the big hit. What's a big hit? Big hits are sudden miracles that create wealth fast. Lotteries, casinos, poker tournaments, heck, even frivolous lawsuits and defrauding the government are considered avenues to the big hit. In effect, big hits are attempts to bypass the wealth journey and start at the finish line. It's the removal of your yellow brick road and the sharpening lessons that come from it. Sidewalkers seek big hits because their belief systems tell them wealth is an event. Unfortunately, big hits are long shots and violations of true essence. Do you believe in miracles? Sidewalkers do. Why do reality TV competitions such as American Idol attract so many people when most of the contestants suck? These people are searching for that elusive big hit. While the talented make it through, they have talent because they have process. The disqualified bemoan off the set, blaming Simon Cowell, the microphone, or some other insignificant factor for their failures. Singing "Someday" over the rainbow a few times in the shower doesn't make a process. Getting swindled, a Sidewalker's temptation. Order now for just 3 easy payments of $39.95, and I will teach you how to make millions working just 40 minutes a week while hanging upside down on a trapeze in your basement. Yes, folks, it's that easy. But wait, there's more. Order today and, as a bonus, you'll receive photos of this buxom woman right here next to me. Doesn't she look great? When you start making money like me, ladies like her will be ringing your doorbell at all hours of the day. Yes, folks, this system is awesome, and it won't be here for long. Act now. The Millionaire FastLane. Crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011. Unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. The infomercial guru knows exactly what he's doing. He targets Sidewalkers, who are magnetized to events and the big hit. Why advertise at 2 a.m.? That's when Sidewalkers congregate, because they're either unemployed or watching reruns of Seinfeld. Believe me, FastLane drivers aren't up at 2 a.m. because of some boob tube rerun. They're forging process and muscling toward their destination. Sidewalkers are ripe for swindling because they seek events and want to avoid process. When this becomes ingrained into your mindset, infomercial pitches suddenly become the evening's entertainment. Disembarking the sidewalk, the 3 anchors use logic. Think for a moment. If you came across a magic system that easily made millions in a few short months, what's the first thing you'd do? Of course you know, and I know. You'd hire a direct marketing firm, package your secret into 5 CDs and 1 quick start video, and sell it on the home and garden channel at 3 a.m. on Tuesday night. Yes, that's the first thing I'd do if I had the billion-dollar secret. Screw traveling the world, forget charity, and dump the idea of making more millions. Nope. Let's package this baby and tell the world for 3 easy payments of $39.95. Do people believe the pitch, or do they desperately seek the easy event? The art of selling money-making systems on TV infomercials is a strong fast lane. Unfortunately, the systems being sold aren't fast lane, or as profitable as the act of selling the system itself. How do gurus get away with this madness? Easy. A Sidewalker's mindset is anchored in 3 beliefs that keep them trapped there and vulnerable to money-making scams. Belief 1, luck is needed for wealth. Belief 2, wealth is an event. Belief 3, others can give wealth to me. Here is where these beliefs fail. First, wealth is not about luck but about process improving probabilities. Second, events of wealth, like lotteries and casinos, are long shots and not process. And finally, only you can deliver yourself to true wealth. There is no chauffeur and there is no money-making program sold on TV that will escort you. These deceptions keep Sidewalkers anchored in good company, with the majority awake at 2 a.m. on the couch thinking they're 1 phone call away from making millions because TV's wealth chauffeur says so. Chapter Summary, Fast Lane Distinctions. Like wealth, luck is created by process, not by event. The Millionaire FastLane. Crack the code to wealth and leverage for a lifetime. Copyright 2011. Unlawful distribution or reproduction is strictly prohibited. Luck is created by increased probabilities that are improved with the process of action. If you find yourself playing the odds of big hits, you are event-driven, not process-driven. This mindset is conducive to the sidewalk, not the fast lane. Get rich quick infomercial marketing is a fast lane because savvy marketers know that Sidewalkers place faith in events over process. Money-making systems are rarely as profitable as the act of selling them to Sidewalkers.